Hey, I'm super excited for this. This week's City Eats restaurant, Hawthorne Food and Drink, not only serves delicious, locally sourced dishes, it also provides training, helping people get off social assistance and sometimes the streets. Please welcome Executive Chef Ricky Casipe. I'm great. Now, social assistance, not only are you guys using food that's, locally sourced and sustainable, but you guys are helping people.
Yeah, so the idea is to help folks that are new to the industry to get their foot in there and sort of get a job.
So there's lots of training involved, and you get to teach them the processes.
We're a restaurant that trains folks, right? So in the front house or the back house, we're training them to be line cooks, serving assistants, dishwashers. Any sort of position across the hospitality industry.
Wow, that's amazing. And you guys use local ingredients. Tell us about the whole concept, farm to fork.
Yeah, so, my style of food, I call it farm to fork city food because, like you guys know, Toronto is a bit of a melting pot, lots of different cultures, and, I want to encourage people to do, sustainable local food, but in a way that's familiar to them, right? So, today I'm making a pasta with schmaltz. So, that can be very relatable to whether it's the Italian community or maybe even the Jewish community. I do a lot of Filipino food on my menu as well, right? So I want people to know that they can go home, go to the farmer's market, and still serve their traditional food, but still support Ontario.
So a fusion style of sorts, and today we're making carbonara with schmaltz. What is
That's one
schmaltz?
of my favorites,
So
actually.
schmaltz is chicken fat.
Okay.
Chicken fat. So what we do is we render down chicken skins to get the fat and use that instead of butter. So because a traditional carbonara will use bacon or pancetta with butter and cream. So we're using chicken fat and chicken skin instead.
Okay, so
and this
let's
is
get
it, right?
started.
Let's get started.
Yeah. So the first thing we're going to do is sort of get the base of our sauce going, right? So I'm going to get started. So when you get chicken skins from your butcher shop and then you render it down, you end up with this. So it's almost like a butter or oil that you can use, right? Okay. So we're going to get a little bit of that into a hot pan.
It almost looks like clarified butter there.
Exactly.
I was going to say, it's the same concept as like duck fat, maybe?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep.
So it's very rich and it's got like a good
so I mean,
flavor
and at the
to it.
Oh,
restaurant,
that smells delicious.
I really like to think that the food's sustainable, right? So using every part of the animal that we can.
That's so important.
A lot of butchers that I know, their freezers are full of chicken skins and people aren't using it. Sorry, it's bubbling. And they just have no way of using it, right? So a lot of them are starting to sell them now. I wish they would give them out for free, but I guess everyone needs to make money, right? So that's okay. I like my butchers. So now that chicken fat's in there, we're going to add a little bit of cream, and we're just going to let this reduce.
That makes a nice thick sauce.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you need next?
We're going to add, so instead of bacon, we're using smoked chicken that we smoke at the restaurant. We got a big smoker, and we just use local apple wood for that. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of that, just to give it a little bit more sustenance.
When you smoke chicken, it adds a nice flavor profile as well. Like it's a nice rich.
Yeah, exactly. And the smokiness also cuts. It is a pretty rich dish, so we need things like smoked chicken, some bitter greens like some local kale that we're going to add into here, and also a little bit of lemon juice to sort of cut the richness.
And that's the key. The lemon juice, the citrus always cuts through, and it again, like you said, cuts down the richness. And then when does the pasta go in?
Pretty much once this is ready to go. The pasta, we make it in-house at the restaurant, fresh. And because it's a linguine cut, it's very thin, so it's only going to take about a minute to 2 minutes to cook, right? So once this is ready to go, we can drop that in, and then we can start plating.
Winston, do you have any ideas of what you're going to be making for Christmas?
I was thinking, you know what, for me, I always love roasting seasonal vegetables. So I was thinking maybe like a nice Brussels sprout with a nice pancetta, with a little lemon juice and some zest on there,
So
and it always holds, right?
Brussels sprouts with bacon over there as one of our sample dishes.
Okay, see,
that's one of our top sellers at the restaurant. So that's the
it kind of looks like
marrow.
ossobuco.
Yeah, bone marrow Brussels sprouts. So what we do is we take out all the bone marrow and render that down, just like what we do with the chicken skins.
And then what's on top of the Brussels sprouts?
It's a gremolata, so it's like a panko breadcrumb with some herbs and a little bit of the crispy bone marrow in there.
Yeah, now this looks really good too.
That's the cauliflower three ways. So it's tempura fried cauliflower, a cauliflower tahina, which is essentially like a puree with turmeric, and raw cauliflower salad.
Can I be rude and try a piece? Of
course. You can absolutely try a piece.
Come on, Winston.
Oh, are we going to both do it?
Yeah, we're going to do it.
Okay, I need to pick a piece that's
going
to look pretty when I eat it on television. Okay.
Okay,
Ready?
do we cross our arms and do it like this? Yeah. It's very romantic. That's so good.
It's all about the texture too. The texture, you got the crunchiness, the softness of the cauliflower,
And the
then you've got the
tahini.
sauce and the tahini. Absolutely fantastic.
Good.
I think I got all over my teeth now.
All right, so I just dropped the pasta in there. Just gonna let it cook for a minute or so.
Yeah.
Add a little bit of seasoning to this, so salt and pepper.
And the sauce is reduced down a little bit, quite a bit too, as well.
Yeah, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a little bit of the pasta water in there as well.
Okay.
To add a little bit of the starchiness too, so that's gonna help thicken it up. So I'm gonna try to figure out how to use this and turn the heat down a little bit. I think I did something. Or yeah, that's
think.
fine.
There you go.
All right.
And then the pasta comes out, and then you're going to toss it in. Now, the pasta water, because it's got the starchiness as well, you know, it ties all of it together.
That helps bind the sauce together. So I can just grab
The
this
one thing I
plate here.
do find about these dishes is that sometimes it often gets dry. So like I will like usually leave a little bit of water from the pasta
Yeah,
on the
always,
side
always,
just in
always,
case.
yeah.
And
But
the
I
key
don't
is to
know.
not overcook the pasta.
Yeah.
Also, you want the al dente.
Yeah.
You got the bite to it as well.
And I always look at your pictures on Instagram.
At home
He's
with
quite the
Winston.
chef.
There we go, and you toss the pasta there. Mm.
Oh, that looks really good.
So you can see it's starting to come together a little bit because we added some of that pasta water.
Right.
You can see it's a little bit starchy. All the sauce is sort of sticking to the noodles now. Just gonna let it sort of come together for another minute, and then we can start plating.
And then when it comes to fresh pasta, you don't want to overcook that either,
No,
because,
no, definitely
like you
not.
said, it only took
Yeah,
a
it's
minute
really,
in that
really
water.
quick, yeah.
It's
Really
not like
quick.
dry pasta that takes like 10 minutes when you put it in.
So this basically took you, what, maybe 10 minutes total? Not even. Like
Yeah,
5 minutes
and
total, so it's an easy dish over the
It's
holidays.
very easy, yeah. And for the most part, it's all, you can feel good about what you're doing because, you know, you're helping your local butchers out by using product that maybe not everyone's using. And it's pretty tasty, as you guys will tell. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start plating now.
Okay.
I'm gonna bunch it up a little bit right here. And then
Nice.
let's do a tight mound right in the middle.
It's just the right amount of pasta too, right? Like so many people have like a giant platter of pasta.
That's
really, you
totally
just
my
need a
house.
little bit, right?
That's my
But that's
house.
family style when you share that.
Exactly. And then we're just gonna garnish with some chicken skins and, like a traditional carbonara, a fresh yolk.
I was gonna
So-
I was wondering what you were gonna use that for.
Oh, it's just for decoration.
I'm like,
There.
There we go.
So then you take the yolk out. So the yolk is, you can eat that raw the way it is,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And it's
Yeah.
local as well?
Yep.
so you take out the whites.
So all of our eggs, the chicken skins that you see here is all from my buddies over at Bespoke Butchers in Liberty Village.
Okay.
So maybe they'll send me some free stuff now. I just mentioned that, but- so that's
Right in
going to
the
go
middle.
right in the middle.
And then
Oh,
when
so
you
it's right-
break that,
Exactly.
it
That just
oozes
adds
everywhere.
to the sauce of the dish as well, right? So
That looks so good.
And then we're just
I
going
think I'm gonna have to fight you for this.
some of the chicken skins
There we
here.
go.
And probably just a little bit of coarse salt on top.
Delicious. Locally,
that's it.
Very local, sustainably sourced,
Yes,
and
sir.
it looks absolutely delicious. I feel like
Oh, I
Stella,
think we
you
should try
this
it, right?
out.
Wait,
And-
is there a clean fork here? Yes.
I got a bunch of spoons. You want to try that?
Well, yeah, I think it'll work.
And,
We can
also
manage.
bttoronto.ca
It's a really big spoon.
/City Eats is where we
Yes.
have this interactive map of everything that all of the City Eats that we've had on the
It's gonna
show
be a hard
before. You can, go through and you can see the different cuisines that we have, and you can click through and watch all of the previous City Eats. So absolutely fantastic. Check that out. And if you have a City Eats suggestion, you can also submit it to us.
Okay, so let's try this out. Sorry, I'm really sorry. This is
Very
really messy.
graceful.
Yeah. Don't look at me.
Okay. And while you eat that, I'll read this out. 60 Richmond Street East is
Yes.
where you can check you guys out. HawthorneTO.ca. All of the information at breakfasttelevision.ca. We're going to break. We'll have more BT right after this.
This is the best carbonara I ever had. Ever.